a familiar chill, a shadow on the floor. My old abandoned house, behind a bolted door. I felt the dust of ages, clinging to the pane, and pulled that worn-out reddish coat. I wore it once again. From days of silent service, when my soul felt pure and bright, a volunteer for him, walking in the light. But I turned from all that goodness, learned a darker path to tread. Now normal men, not very good, not bad. And through the grimy window, a procession I could see of young and shining faces gazing back at me, with candles gleaming softly and lanterns held so high, flags unfurling gently beneath a velvet sky. Then a lady bright as morning stopped before my crumbling wall. She came right to my doorstep, heard my downfall, and with a gentle wisdom she opened up the door. But I stood there on her way, defiant to my core. I told her, this is my house, you cannot walk inside. And she looked at my old red coat and moved away of sight. She was almighty holy, pure beyond compare. Could have swept me from her path with a whisper in the air. But her gaze, it held me captive, then slowly fell to rest upon the faded fabric, the symbol on my chest. That worn-out reddish coat, a ghost of who I'd been before the choices twisted, before the bitter sin. She saw the mark of service, a life I'd thrown away, a single silent moment before she turned astray. And through the grimy window, a procession I could see of young and shining faces gazing back at me, with candles gleaming softly and lanterns held so high, flags unfurling gently beneath the velvet sky. Then a lady bright as morning stopped before my crumbling wall. She came right to my doorstep, heard my downfall, and with a gentle wisdom she opened up the door. And I stood there in a pathway, wanting nothing more. Then scream came, this is my house, you cannot walk inside. As she looked at my old red coat and moved away of sight. And every young disciple with their lanterns and their gleam walked on behind the lady like figures in a dream. The light began to vanish, the song began to fade, leaving only darkness in the choices I had made. The silence of the ruins settled in my soul so deep, as I watched the glory leaving while the lonely shadows creep.